Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around for the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 should have a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, Coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's going to try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's going to crash. Salas is going to crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is going to do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams.
Yeah, can really hold him off. He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But Rayleigh just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth, able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Antonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if he can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. And to turn number 9 for the final time. Lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on Peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway. Ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all going to wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.
AARN has finally loaded into the last great Coliseum and is set to go for a battle of 250 laps. Dash for Cash points are on the line and the season is still young, so who can capitalize on a big opportunity this morning? Welcome to Pitstop TV and to the virtual Bristol, Tennessee. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure as always to join you for coverage of the AmericaTees.com 250. Today's coverage is brought to you by AmericaTees.com, by Bully Dog Coffee Company, and by Whiplash Simcams. Zach, it's Bristol, baby. That's all we need to know. Race cars on a short track, it's always a good time to be short track racing. I know you were taking in some short track racing last night. I was myself, as we typically do on Saturdays. And here we are, continuing that theme into a Sunday morning.
Absolutely, Bristol. Bristol is more like a short track and intermediate rolled into one, because this is, it's nicknamed one of the fastest short tracks for quite a good reason, because these guys are always on the edge and always rolling fast around this racetrack. It's a bit of an egg, we'll say. 1 and 2 are a little bit tighter than 3 and 4, but it in on itself, it's unlike any other short track you've ever come to see. You go to a short track here in the South, they're usually pretty flat. They don't necessarily have as much banking as Bristol does. So it's got its own few characteristics that make it just genuine the way it is. And then it is a single pit road. So usually what you see with Bristol in the NASCAR Cup Series that you watch on TV on a Sunday morning is during green flag stops, you'll see drivers pitting on the front stretch and the back stretch. We'll hear on iRacing, they can't necessarily completely simulate that, so all drivers, whether we're under the green flag or the yellow flag, as you see on your screen, will have to pit in turn 1 and turn 2 technically, and exit in turn 2.
Yes, they will have to do a full lap around the racetrack on the apron or pit lane in order for it to be legal, in order for it to count for their pit stop. So, yes, to avoid penalty, you got to enter in turn 2, more or less. The entry can be a little more, I guess, up to determination as I go knocking cans over. Here we go. But yes, a full lap around the racetrack, around the inside there for a pit stop attempt. And we can take a look at point standings coming into this morning. And boy, things are getting tight. Up at the top, Sean Hughes, Zach King, each with a win now the last couple of weeks, and there they are, just 4 points apart. Robert Hissong, Casey Gross, and Christopher Foote, they have all been kind of the next best that have not won a race just yet. Cameron Combs in that group as well. Douglas Scalise maybe a step and a half behind them, but close as well. And throw in McMeekin, throw in Bender. All those guys have been very close on the racetrack, and here they are, very close in the standings, as Jordan White has cracked his way into the top 10 now that he's got himself that win from Dover back in race 3. The one omission that I think is glaring of this top 24 is, of course, Coulter Clark. He is down at about 28th spot. He missed the last race or two, I think 2 actually, as he was at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina last week. So, yeah, we've got Coulter back, but he missed that race, and it kind of set him back. He was nearly in the top 24 going into Martinsville, but unfortunately had to miss that race to go to the NASCAR race last week, and is back here this week, and so far Coulter's third. So we should see some great racing out of him, Zach, and looking ahead at the rest of the schedule beyond just today, we are away. It'll be alternate coverage for Kansas and Talladega, but then we're back at Texas and Watkins Glen. We unfortunately have to skip North Wilkesboro. I know it's going to suck for us because we love Wilkesboro here on the channel, but then back at Charlotte, and then we're actually taking a few races away there. We come back at Sonoma after Charlotte Motor Speedway. So the summer stretch is going to be a little mixed around, and I think our other broadcast partners are prepped and ready to handle it. We'll help them out a little bit as well, and we're going to have a great summer ahead here in this series. This has been a lot of fun so far. I know it's a lot of guys that are newer to the sim, Zach, as I hit the wrong button there, but yeah, I'm excited to see how these guys grow and learn the sim and learn each other as the season goes on.
I think as the season rolls, it should be a fun one. I think we're gonna have. Oh, I think I'm still waking up because I can't even talk right now.
Well, that's okay. We can talk about the fact that we do still have Dash for Cash going on here in the AARN All-American, or not All-American, but Next Gen Cup Series. And let me actually get that graphic. There we go, in the top right. Yeah, so we have Dash for Cash going still. Those same 4 drivers are battling amongst each other. You see Jordan White on top. We don't have a graphic for the points this week, but when we get to Texas, we will have a graphic updating you on exactly where points are at in that final race of Dash for Cash. These guys have been accruing points in the select Dash for Cash races, which has been the last 3 weeks, in order to, we'll have a nice little in-season battle, and that'll conclude at Texas in a few weeks. Qualifying wrapping up, Zach. We can get on into the race in just a moment. First up, I want to take a look at the power ranking is coming into today, and you can see things have moved around quite a bit. Mostly the same few guys rising to the top. Jordan White, Zach King, Robert Hissong, each picking up positions last week at Martinsville. Sean Hughes staying in the top 3. Casey Gross and Doug Scalise new to the top 10, but you also see Cameron Combs, Coulter Clark, Chris Foote, and Adam Ramsey all taking bits of slides there through the top 10. Of course, Clark was not there last week, but back today. We'll see what he can do.
Absolutely. I think it's notable to see King and White so close together after Martinsville. Those two were at the front of the field fighting it out, dog fighting, I'll say, to go for that race win. And I think we're gonna see, I think we're gonna see them have a little bit more of a fight go on today, hopefully towards the front of the field. But you just got to make it through Bristol. You got to survive the last great Coliseum.
Yeah, those two literally tenths of a point apart. I would not consider them all too separate. They are just about even right now in terms of these power rankings. Cars are getting ready to roll here on the front straightaway, so we can go ahead and take a look at the refreshed ATVO starting grid. And on pole, how about... Oh, that did not pull the right data at all, Zach. Wow. Let me see if I can fix that. Hang on. Let's see if that... No. Oh, dear. That's completely broken. Well, we'll do it audibly then. Jordan White on pole. We have this new grid graphic and everything. Want to break it out, and it's not even working. That's unfortunate. Well, Jordan White on pole. Chris Romano second. Coulter Clark, Kevin Bullock, Matthew Meekin, your top 5. Sean Hughes, Adam Ramsey, Michael Alley. That's through 4 rows, and then it's Christopher Foote and Austin Adams there in row 5. Sorry about that. That sucks.
It's nothing we can't work on, though, Andrew. Nothing that we can't take over from. Zachary King rolls off 11th with Robert Hissong in the outside as well. Then it's Casey Gross 13th. Elijah Mopin in 14th. Christopher Edgepar 15th. Mark Bender 16th. Scalise and Powell 17th and 18th on the grid. And then Ravillo at 19th. And Chad Fox will be 20th position on the field.
And your back few starters, Justin Lanier, Greg Van Nice, Tony Krieger, Cameron Combs, Matt Opplinger, and Mark Helsel did not make the call for the start of the race. The iRacing.com safety car to the relative safety of pit lane. Here we go. 250 at Bristol begins now. The Mercatees.com 250 is underway. One lap complete. You see still side by side between your top pair, Jordan White, Chris Romano. And Romano's going to have the advantage. McMeekin fastest on lap number 2. Change that to Adams as Romano slips up out of turn 2. Gives Jordan the lead back into turn number 3. Jordan White going to power away. He's got it. He's got the race lead 3 laps in.
Coulter Clark side by side with Romano to try and take that second spot away. Outside line, all so powerful here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Here you see McMeekin looking on Coulter Clark, trying to see what he can get done as everyone starts shifting down to the bottom line, because that's going to be where tire saving matters. And then it slipped my mind, apparently, Andrew, but the top 3 in the championship, they have a bit of a rule. From races 8 to 20, the top 3 in the championship will receive EOL penalties at the start of the race. So you've got guys like Zachary King right here, who started 11th, and he's currently towards the back of the pack working his way forward. There's Sean Hughes, who's right in front of him in the points. They're separated by only 4 points, but they're only separated by 1 position on the track as the caution is out.
It's Chad Fox in the front stretch, and yeah, we showed each of those top 3 contenders, King, Hughes, and Combs. They've each gone to the rear of the field despite qualifying higher up, and are working their way back through. That's a good catch, Zach. I saw that earlier in the week, and it's been so long since I saw it, I forgot that as well. So here's a look back at what happened for Chad Fox. Car number 12, and we're working on a project to get as many driver photos here as possible. I know Chad submitted one. It was last night as I was working the ARCA East race at Hickory, so I couldn't get it updated just yet, but we'll have that, of course, for Texas in a couple of weeks as Fox takes an early header there to the inside wall. Nothing too crazy. I mean, that's typical for this race car at Bristol. To see guys get loose off the corner like that and just take a quick trip there to the inside wall and continue on. That's very commonplace, unfortunately, in this car. It's just this next gen car is that way.
And it is. There were a lot of drivers when this car first released onto the iRacing.com sim that complained that it was very, very loose. That it would just snap way too much, which it does. It's very snappy. It's very loose. It's just something you have to work with now. It's just how this car drives. It's nothing that the iRacing.com sim changed or adapted in any way. This is just the car. It can get free on you. It can snap around. You have to adapt.
Let's keep in mind NASCAR's new short track package. These guys are on a bit of a change. We are on higher horsepower, lower downforce, effectively, to keep it simple, layman's terms. So these guys are on a new aero and power package with this race car here, and we'll talk with some drivers about that as the day goes on. We talked about it last week at Martinsville as well. But let's take a look at one graphic we didn't get to in pre-race, a couple actually, and that's going to be the Whiplash SimCam's race details. There you see a 250-lap race. About 133 miles, 3 change sets, not many for this race, Zach. They do have to be careful on tires. 50% fuel for these guys, and that will definitely keep them in the pit lane a little more often than maybe we're used to, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Mix things up as the day goes on, and weather conditions coming at you by mxwraps.com, 63 or 67.3 in the air, 79 on track. A little bit humid, nothing, it's normal for Tennessee, I'd say. The winds are a little high, but down in this bowl, the last great Coliseum, I don't think that'll matter too much for these drivers as we get set to go racing once again from Bristol Motor Speedway. The world's fastest half mile about to roar back to life. Jordan White, Chris Romano, your front row, green flag, back out. And single file through your top handful of positions. Adam Ramsey starting to put some pressure now on Romano. Romano slid back to third on the restart, Zach. Did not get going. That leaves Whiplash Racing teammates at the front. Jordan White, Coulter Clark, couple of Dash for Cash drivers. How are they going to settle this out?
Hopefully cleanly. As they roll through turn number 4. It's still only lap 14. I'm sure these guys will hopefully be patient as we roll through, but that bottom line still once again taking over. Everyone shifting down there, hanging on to the tires that they have.
Meanwhile, Michael Alley, if you saw it that last lap, fastest last time around. That lap, we'll see if any new notifications come in, but Alley now holds that fastest lap of the race, and he is putting pressure appropriately on the 0-1 of Bullock. Get moving, or I'm going to pass you. In fact, I'm going to pass you. Here we go. And he cuts Bullock a break there into turn 1. Give and take, that's important as Romano and Ramsey get racing. This is for position number 3.
Outside line, trying to work for him. Ramsey on the bottom, hanging on to it. McMeekin sitting back there waiting to see if he can make something happen. Coulter Clark kind of defending 2 lanes right now, runs the middle line, stays in line with Jordan White. Ramsey to the bottom. Cuts him a little bit of a break, but he might have gotten loose.
Still battling for 3rd position, right on the back bumper of 2nd and the front bumper of 5th. And here we go. Now it's a race for 2nd. Romano gets a massive run on the outside lane, and he's going for 1st.
Trying as hard as he can, still on the outside line.
Nose ahead, Chris Romano in turn 3. Jordan White started backing up, and Coulter Clark going to go around. Ramsey goes by or goes out around on the front stretch. Oh,
right
man.
In front of the field, everybody scatters. One makes contact.
Combs hit him. It was Clark going around the 83, but the 97 going around on the racetrack. We keep racing, no caution flag. That'll wake you up.
That it will.
Speaking of waking up, as always, a big thank you to Patrick Bowler and Bully Dog Coffee Company. Let me get you the discount code and such. Well, caution's out. We'll talk about it in a second as Justin Lanier is turned around on the front straightaway here. Just shy of 25 complete. And boy, that got busy in a hurry. Here's a look back at it for Justin Lanier racing with Mike Rovillo. Have to hope there wasn't contact. In this case, there was, but I wouldn't label that as the cause of the incident, Zach. Lanier, again, just got loose off of turn 4.
I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of that today.
Just like we did here. Here's a look back with Adam Ramsey. So as White gets company on the outside lane, let's wait for this to come on through. And there we go. So they're racing side by side for the lead. Romano around the outside. Clark goes up, and then off turn 4, Ramsey just gets free. Slides up. Watch out. Everybody trying to miss, and then boom. There's Cameron Combs. His song sends it to the wall to miss it. Everybody survived. Barely.
I was going to say, barely. They scattered all over the place.
And out of the pit lane. That's going to be Robert Hissong in the 29 car. New paint scheme on that Ford Mustang.
I like it, though. That's a nice looking paint.
And Hissong, one of the Dash for Cash drivers, we'll keep an eye on today. Of course, it's all Clark and White up front, but Hissong and Combs both in that as well. So they actually are nose to tail on the racetrack. There is Combs in 21st, Hissong now in 22nd, as you get a look there at car 15. Chris Romano leading under this caution. There's Lanier in the pit lane as well. Corey Powell, the one car really off pace. He is 21 laps down. Not sure what has put him that far back, but he was not able to take a handful of those opening laps. He's gotten back on the racetrack now and is ready to race, just unfortunately 20 laps down.
You never know what can happen. There's always a chance that you can recover those laps.
A long ways to go for sure. I don't think he's going to get 21 back, but I'm sure he can get a handful back at the very least and get some spots through attrition in this race. So quite a ways to go as we race in sunlight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Lights will be on later in the year as we come back in the summer. Green flag on the way again. Restart zone there for Chris Romano. Racing again at Bristol Motor Speedway. A great restart out of Coulter Clark. And Coulter Clark going to have the lead off of turn 4, but not by much. Side by side. Coulter Clark hangs on to the race lead for now. He's got it over Romano.
Still tight on that outside line. Working as hard as he can. Romano trying to make the bottom work for him. Oh, just barely gets clear going into turn number 3. Coulter Clark hangs on to it, runs away with the race lead off of 4.
It's a single file starting to spread out at the front of the field as these guys all have old tires on their cars. Oh, a check up there out of McMeekin. One car blinking in the background. Single file spreading out this time, a lot more than we have seen on previous restarts. This can let us go back and cover some of the guys deeper in the field, such as Zach King, that's trying to come back through the field. Of course, we saw him deep on the start since he's one of the top 3 in the standings, along with Cameron Combs and Sean Hughes. Hughes up to 11th, King there in 15th, Combs back here in 16th. Let's ride on board with driver 15. You see the contact there. Ramsey racing with Mope and a couple of cars ahead. There's their side-by-side fight. Mopin asked around the league, you know, what car should he run this week? What paint scheme? And he is from East Tennessee. Had to think about that one. East Tennessee. He was actually at Kingsport Speedway last night for their test session to get the season started. And I'm always a great supporter of short track racing. I was at Hickory last night for the ARCA East race. Zach, I know you were over at Wake County for the Cars Tour race. Elijah was out supporting his local short track at Kingsport Speedway in Kingsport, Tennessee. Just, a few miles away here from Bristol Motor Speedway in reality. So good to have him supporting short track racing last night and seeing what they had to offer in that practice session to get their season started yesterday at Kingsport. Meanwhile, battle here between Cameron Combs and Zach King. Combs and King both just going to go around the 66 car as they start to move forward. And we've got battles ahead as well. Ramsey trying to go forward with the 21 of Foot as they race with the 75 of Hughes. Caution, Mark Bender, they're still crashing. His song is in it. This is the first big incident we've seen for him. He's done.
It's a big hit. You see the smoke billowing out. Oh, Mark Bender
what are you doing?
Comes back in late.
How did that just happen?
Apparently, from what I'm hearing, Mark Bender couldn't see him. There was some connection issues.
Let's go see what happened here. Backstretch for these two. Mark Bender was ahead. That is puzzling to say the least. You see how the 29 was just barely clipped. But here's Bender. Not really sure what was going on there off of turn 2. I really don't know.
And then his song right there just, oh, wow.
I mean, I wish I could tell you, Zach, what's going on here off of turn 2. He pulls low and then spins. And that just clips his song. He gets sent into the wall head on. And then he's down here. I mean, this is just a bad situation for him. He's trying to get the car back rolling, and then Bender just comes in and smashes right back through him. That is a really puzzling set of incidents there for the 29 and 33. The real unfortunate part is his song is likely done for the day.
Oh, he is definitely done. Most certainly. That car is junk, and if I take a look at my race control pylon, yes, there's a meatball flag on that race car, and he is done for the day.
One more in the pit lane. That is Vad Nice in the 24. He takes service and will head back out. as he does so, we can take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV. Zach, I gotta say, this is a very big week for us. I was telling my boss, Tony Stevens, last night, we got 5 in 5 days. We have a lot going on, starting, of course, today here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tomorrow, we have Super Speedway Racing for the NORA Retro Cup Series. We recall how fun Daytona was. Here we go, Talladega on the way for those 2003 NASCAR Cup cars. Then Tuesday, we kick back off with the BRB Sundance Pro Series, getting their new season started. Dual racing at Daytona for the first time ever in that league's history. That'll be this Tuesday, March 31st. And Wednesday, some dirt racing on the way. The Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series at Federated Auto Parts Raceway Park, I-55, there in Peevely. I'm excited for that. And then the North American Racing League also comes back this week. They've got amateur drivers racing out at Watkins Glen. Green flag back out at Bristol. Bit of a disjointed restart, but we are racing.
Coulter Clark about almost lost it from position number 1, but he held on to it, gets out in front into the lead.
The whole field race on by. There's your top 5 or so as they race down the backstretch. Clark, Romano, White, McMeekin, and Bullock, your top 5. Throw in Alley in 6th, Gross in 7th. How about Adams in 8th? Etchapar and Ramsey complete your top 10. Hughes and Combs side by side here. They are a couple of top drivers in the series and in the standings. Hughes gets in ahead of the 15 car. On that pit stop, Zach King made a stop for service. It looks like fuel only, but he visited the pit lane and put himself back a couple of rows.
Getting stuck, mired in track position, or mired back in track position, we'll say. It's tough to deal with here at Bristol, but he's just got to be able to keep his best foot forward and work his way back up through the field.
Meanwhile, on board with Chris Romano, I was talking about getting some headshots for these drivers. I don't mean in Call of Duty. No, we're talking about pictures. Pictures of these drivers. So drivers, if you're out there listening, we want to get your photo on the broadcast. Email me, Andrew at pitstoptv.com. Andrew at pitstoptv.com. Email me with a photo of yourself, relatively professional looking, and we can get you on the broadcast. Make sure to include your iRacing ID if possible. We're targeting something a bit like this for my shot there on the left side of that graphic. One like Zach has is also acceptable. And like I said, we've got some out there now for Chris Romano. We saw one there briefly for Mark Bender. I'm trying to recall who was all sent them in and that I was able to include in the broadcast. Let's show off the 16 of Douglas Scalise. There he is. A little bit of AI fire suit going on, that's okay. Mark Bender here on the 33, same deal. Michael Rovillo, he sent one in. So I certainly appreciate the help from these guys, and I think Mopin sent one in, but we didn't get on the broadcast in time. So, again, make sure to submit those as these weeks go by, and we'll be able to get them in for Texas Motor Speedway in a few weeks. But there we go, the 54 car just led lap 54, Zach, as we have 54 complete. Your top 3, somewhat spread out. McMeekin and Bullock, though, not far off of the 83 car.
As we continue to click off laps here at Bristol, I get the feeling that these guys are going to start showing what their real speed is. And I say that in the sense of, as long as we start getting a green flag run in, we're going to start seeing how good these guys got with tire saving, because right front tires get chewed up at Bristol Motor Speedway. And I don't mean that in any exaggeration. They get chewed up as we got a fight for the lead heating up. Romano trying to take it back from Clark as there it is, lap cars in front of the leaders.
On board with Chris Romano as he chases our race leader. That's Bender to the outside, Chad Fox on the outside, letting these leaders go by. Get a little complex though for these guys behind him as McMeekin and Bullock do file through, so your whole top 5 gets by. As these guys race on a little bit, I want to take a look, Zach, at a graphic we have not yet shown today. And that is basically your synopsis on what a current NASCAR Cup car is. So the 2022 package, but the car is still the same with some updates to some aero and power updates. So we've got the 2026 NASCAR Cup Gen 7 on your screen, and of course, Chevy, Ford, and Toyota supplied the engines. This is a little bit outdated, actually. I base this on iRacing, but I can confirm that short tracks are up to 750 horsepower. It's all track dependent on how much horsepower they run. 5-speed sequential gearbox, though, that is the same across the board, and all the rest is as well. You see the 3,400 pound minimum weight with driver and fuel, 18-gallon fuel cell, and on down the list, with the independent rear suspension being one of the largest and most significant updates to this race car, Zach, from race cars past, whether it was generation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. They all had more similar builds than this. The independent rear suspension on short tracks has really changed things and the way these tires wear. And so we're talking about tire wear being prominent in these cars. I don't think it was as prominent in the Gen 6 because of all the aero and because of just the way that car had gotten at that point. But changing things into the Gen 7 now, tire wear, it's just a little bit different in this car. Again, it's more like a GT3 car. They bolted a plate spoiler on and decided, let's go stock car racing.
I love stock car racing. Love it with every fiber of my being. But, you know, I think one thing that is still I'm trying to wrap my head around is this new short track package, in a way, as we see Bender hitting to the pit lane. So what is it? They increased the horsepower and they removed sections of the rear diffuser, if I'm not mistaken.
They did. So if you can get a look up underneath the 4-car ahead from this shot on car 01, you can see there's not much of anything going on underneath the race car. I'm trying to find the right view to show it. That might be the best right there. You can see there's no diffuser underneath the rear of the car, so they took a lot of the aero away on these short tracks and added power, trying to make it a little harder to drive, a little more off-throttle time, and that is good. That's what you want, honestly. You want a bit of off-throttle time. That's where the drivers can make the difference as far as how hard they drive in and how far they back the corner up and get a run out onto the straightaway. But this is a great battle start to pick up with these two for 4th place. McMeekin in the number 4 ahead, on board with Kevin Bullock in the 01. Bullock is looking high. Looking low.
Trying where you can. Outside line starting to really come in now. Once that rubber wears it in, it can be almost untouchable later on in the race, and clear, all clear. McMeekin over Bullock.
Business picking up all around the racetrack. That's just one battle of a handful. Coulter, Clark, Chris Romano, they're still close as they look to go by Austin Adams, who just pitted. We saw him on the pit lane a few laps ago. And they'll soon be lapping Chad Fox once more. Deeper in this field, Adam Ramsey and Cameron Combs are close together. This is the battle for 9th spot. Ramsey in that 9th position, Combs in 10th. Sean Hughes just a little ways behind these guys. Some of the typical front runners maybe not able to get through the traffic just yet here at Bristol, but give them some time. And there we go. Combs are on the outside of car 97. They avoid the 2 there on the inside and keep on racing. Ramsey down low, Combs up top.
Side by side to 1. That bottom line, that top line, so different yet somehow so racy all together. Combs clears Ramsey, but here comes Hughes to the outside of Ramsey. He's looking to take that spot away.
You hear Combs shifting
clear
down to 4th here in some of these corners, and now the view from Ramsey as Hughes tries to swallow him up.
Lanier to the outside. lets these guys go, lets them fight it out.
Getting that for the race lead. Here we go. Romano and Clark side by side nearly. That time into turn 3. They get it back single file as they pass Corey Powell. That puts Powell now 23 down. But props to him. He is staying in the race. He has passed Robert Hissong and is trying to chase down guys like Justin Lanier and Mark Bender. So best of luck to Powell in his endeavors as he tries to get spots back here. You see Mopin and Krieger ahead. This is going to check the leaders up.
Clark is down to the bottom, trying to get around the lap traffic. It's going to hold him up a tad off of 2. That's going to compromise, or that was 4 actually. Oh my goodness. Compromises his exit a little bit. Romano closes ever so slightly. His exit gets compromised.
Oh, Jordan White really had to check up. He got stuck behind the 19 of Krieger off of turn 2. Now the leader is going to try to go by Mark Bender. You know, not to keep tooting my own horn, but if you watched the ARCA East race last night, I'm sure even to a point the cars to race at Wake County, lap traffic a big deal. In fact, within about 30 laps at Hickory yesterday in the ARCA race, we saw significant lap traffic. Leaders like Max Reeves and Tristan McKee bobbing and weaving through lap cars that, you know, are all just trying to find their way in the ARCA series. It's, I mean, a big difference of equipment in that way. And man, it for a little bit there, it looked like multi-class racing. I'm not saying it looks quite like that right now, Zach, but sometimes when the track gets clogged, as it's about to, it looks a little bit similar as there's a pass for second. Romano giving it up. White goes on through.
I don't think we're going to have the lap traffic problem. The biggest problem that we had at Wake County Speedway last night was actually cars running out of gas. I don't think we'll be having that same issue tonight here. Well, today, this morning. See,
you did
have me doing it now.
Yeah, I've been good so far this morning, but we'll see how the day goes. Douglas Scalos here working on Adam Ramsey. Ramsey has slid back a little bit. Yeah, you know, Zach, in conjunction with the driver photos, we, like I said, tried to get that new grid graphic debuted, and I don't know, man. We're using the qualifying data set. ATVO help us out, but I'm not sure what happened there with that graphic. Regardless, these three in a line, Ramsey, Scalis, and Foote all together. They are the final cars on the lead lap, Zach, and only about 4 seconds ahead of the race leaders. So they've got to get a move on here quickly.
Looking around the outside.
It's going to back these guys up to the leaders if they're not too careful.
It could get pretty dicey. And as we quickly approach halfway, I don't want to say you're running out of time, but you could always be running out of time on the racetrack as the laps wind down.
Just watching along here, Douglas Scala still racing with Ramsey and with Foote. They go by a lapped car. I believe that was the 12 of Fox. Then small battle here, Van Nice and Krieger. There's Van Nice in the 24, Krieger in the 19. Trying to show a little more of the field here while we have the opportunity to do so, but the lead has changed hands the last handful of laps. As we were watching some other cars, Jordan White able to slip back on by Coulter Clarks, maybe some tires saved by the Jamaican sensation. He has powered on through for the race lead as Matt Opplinger hits the pit lane. And Zach, I think we're getting pretty close to seeing some green flag. Yeah, green flag stops. Etchapar coming in, that checked up alley. That was a whole mess.
Looked like Lanier had a bit of a tire lock back there.
All of a sudden, green flag pit stops. And this is
But you
gonna
really
be tricky for these guys. This long pit lane under green. Oh man, this is gonna suck for these guys.
And that's what I was about to say. Should a caution come out while they're having green flag stops, these guys are going to go 3, 4, 5 laps down. I mean, this is going to be nuts.
Yeah, we don't typically see the long pit lane used under green. And there we go, problems.
Out.
Jordan White, race leader. I think he was trying to pit, Zach.
Oh my goodness! I commentator cursed it. Oh no!
I think he was trying to pit. Let's see. This is down the backstretch. It happens in turns 1 and 2. The Jamaican sensation, 100% trying to hit the pit lane. Got the apron, slid, caution out for driver 83. I can't believe that. Of all ways for a caution to come out in a pit cycle, that is not at all what I ever would have expected. He was just trying to be safe, trying to play it safe. And unfortunately, that transition down off the banking just hurt him.
Ironically, Andrew, the best way to play it safe at Bristol is to not necessarily play it safe. I think. Oh!
Contact in the pit lane.
What is happening?
Chad Fox had stopped, and Jordan White just hit him. Here's the view for Jordan. Oh my gosh.
It just came to a stop.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm mixing names now, first and last, I guess. Maybe you can use that as some kind of username. I don't know. But yeah, Chad just stopped.
To be more aware of what's going on around him. I mean, that is... That's a little egregious.
Obviously, we don't know why Chad needed to stop there, but I'm sure he had some kind of reason to do so. This is going to trap a handful of cars laps down that were on the lead lap. I mean, we can go down the list. Bullock, 2 laps down now. Echapar, Ali, they were all top 10. There's Echapar. He is stuck 2 laps down. Ali stuck 2 laps down. Opplinger stuck 2 laps down. Mopin stuck 3 down. Anybody that just pitted, unfortunately, just buried themselves laps down. If they pitted under green, they buried themselves. And they didn't do anything wrong. They were just trying to pit, hit their stop, and get back on the racetrack. And unfortunately, they are going to have a long race ahead trying to recover those laps. Let's talk with one of the cars that gets hit by this. That's going to be Kevin Bullock here quickly. Let's just bring Kevin in. Kevin, I know this buried you a couple laps down. Is there any way you can get back into this and back on the lead lap?
I'm going to try. I just need the cautions to fall. I run out of fuel.
Yeah, we saw the pit stop there and then the caution immediately after. We'll check back in with you here shortly. Best of luck. And so Bullock. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. He is stuck. He's the first car 2 laps down, Zach. He is stuck in 14th. There are 4 1 lap down cars ahead that all managed to either save a lap in that process or not pit. Those are Krieger, Ramsey, Romano, and Gross. Romano and Gross did pit, but they were further up the field. So Romano is now stuck in 12th, a lap down. That's just the nature of the beast here. This shows definitely, though, Zach, future runs, if we go green, you're going to want to wait the pit.
The player, hate the game.
Part of it. Obviously, these drivers aren't going to be happy with the circumstance they've been handed, but it's part of it. As we come back around to the restart zone, green flag, you're on the way. Coulter Clark gets us back racing. The Mercatees.com 250 back underway. And 1 complete off the restart for Resch Tires for the first time in over 100 laps.
Interesting to see Combs up in the top 3, I'll say, Andrew, because he was involved in one of the early incidents. Got a bit of nose damage, trying to avoid a half-spinning Ramsey, we'll say, as Christopher Foote sets the fastest lap of the race. And Combs is trying to work on Coulter Clark and get up there and take that lead away. One in the pit lane.
Yeah, this is Opplinger. Not sure why he's got to come back in, but I hate this for him. He's just been trying to make the best of some bad circumstance the last few weeks, and great paint scheme, I believe, off of Trading Paints, or no, that's Harpoon. So yeah, it could be Trading Paints. Harpoon Design actually works with us on Monday evenings with the Nora Retro Cup Series, brought to you by Harpoon Design. You can tell by the graphic there on the deck lid of that race car. Always good to see Brantley Rodden's logos out there on these cars. In the meantime, here's a car with the MX Wraps logo on it, and we work with them here at the channel. Brennan Maddox, Zach Maddox, and myself putting in some work over there at that group. And Zach King, boy, he just like Cameron Combs, they were not really up here before that pit cycle started under green, Zach, but through all of that happening, they stayed on the racetrack under green, waited on that caution to come out, and here they are, second and third.
About to be fighting for second here in just a few laps, as Zach King is starting to work himself forward. And King has put himself into a good position with Jordan White right behind him. King leads over Hughes by 5 spots, so he's looking to take the points lead away, walking out of here if he can finish a good number of spots in front of Sean Hughes.
By the way, Opplinger seems to have called it a day. He is now off the racetrack and out of the car. So I think car 82 is done for the afternoon. Or the morning still, afternoon on the way. Hopefully we don't get to the afternoon here in this race, but it's always a possibility. Meanwhile, battle for second. And it's good to see Miss King is awake. Mama King, I should say. She's here checking in, rooting for her driver that is currently running third. We're on board with him now, Zach King. Mama King, we need to get you on Zach to get a headshot in here, a picture of him so we can get on the broadcast. We need one still. Battle for second. Oh! Who was that?
Caution's out, though.
That was Chad Fox.
Not again.
I thought so. I saw the flash of orange and white. I just didn't want to believe it was true that he had another issue here. Unfortunately, early in this race, still not even halfway, and just off the corner, seemingly nothing wrong, and then all of a sudden the car comes around.
Just snaps loose right in front of Coulter Clark. Locks it down, but still puts the head on into the wall right there.
And so these guys will reset here under this caution, get a chance to pit. A lot of the leaders, I think, will all stay out. But we do see Jordan White hitting the pit lane. Of course, we saw the damage for him, not only in that most recent caution before this, but also in the attempt to pit when Chad Fox came to a stop in the pit lane. There's Greg Van Nice. He's hitting the pit lane. And it looks like beyond that, really just Chad Fox and Mark Bender. Well, getting the lucky dog here is going to be Adam Ramsey, it looks like. I have an idea of who I want to talk to, if we can find him in the League Discord. Looks like we cannot, unfortunately. Let's call it audible then. Let's grab a different driver, somebody who just unfortunately parked their car for the day. And let's see if we can get a word here with Matt Opplinger. Matt, I've been noticing a lot of bad circumstance for you lately. Today, a lot of the same, and unfortunately it seems out early. What happened to you?
I got disqualified because it said I didn't serve my black flag, which I was trying to do. So I don't know, unfortunate circumstance. Try and get them next week.
And of course, we are away the next couple of weeks at let me think, Talladega and Kansas. But you know, what has the season been like for you so far? We come back at Texas. Are you excited for that race at all?
Yeah, any oval race I'm excited for. These short tracks are tough.
Well, best. Oh,
This
go ahead.
season's been up and down. It's had a good couple runs the last few weeks, and then back at this. So we'll keep fighting.
Hopefully we see the 82 car back out there soon. Hopefully we're talking to you sometime at Texas, Watkins, Glen, any race coming up. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Matt Opplinger there on the 82 car. Again, just a lot of bad circumstance for him this season, Zach. I think he's been pretty steady right around the top 10 kind of cutoff, and I think as the season grows and he grows as a driver, we'll be able to see him racing for better positions very, very soon within this All-American Racing Network Next Gen Cup Series. Green flag back out. Racing again, just shy of halfway. Oh, big move here. Last week's winner at Martinsville, Zach King, to the inside now of Coulter Clark. These two know each other. They've got some history.
Trying to go 2 in a row. Zach King in the 51. Down to the bottom on Coulter Clark. He's got the nose in front. Will he get clear on exit? No. Coulter Clark battles back along the outside, trying to hang on to that lead that he has been oh so out in front just about all race long. King working that bottom line, trying to make something happen. Rolls right up on the back bumper. Taps the wall. Can't get it done.
One to the pit lane. That's Michael Rovilla. We'll continue watching this fight, though, for the race lead. Coulter Clark, Zach King, neither relenting. Cameron Combs just behind. You see the battles behind with Scalise and McMeekin, but right now for the race lead, holding steady between these two. King is just right on. I was going to say the diffuser of the 54, but these cars don't have diffusers on short tracks now. You see it's gotten single file now behind these guys. It was McMeekin and Scalise racing for 4th and 5th. McMeekin has got the spot. Scalise 5th, Foot there in 6th. Hughes in 7th. Jordan White much further back after his pit stop. He runs in 8th. Two more on the lead lap. Those are Thad Nice in the 24 and Ramsey in the 97. They are just behind. Cameron Combs blinking Zach. He might have just dropped out.
One would hope not.
Oh, watch out! Race leaders, contact! And Coulter Clark takes a hit to the inside wall. That was off the front bumper of Zach King.
That's not what you want to see. You see Coulter working his way back through the field here, but
just
oh my goodness.
As we went on board with Zach King, here's the run through 3 and 4. Clark, I think, got tight, got out of the gas, and King right smack in the left rear of that Toyota Camry.
There's really not much that King can do in that regard if Coulter's jumping out of the gas, but from a different angle. Now you see him just check up a little bit on corner exit, and King just gets into his back. It's a hard incident to call, Andrew. There's truly not much that could...
Let's listen here. Yeah, he jumped out of the gas. He got tight. Didn't want to cut you off, but that context, the audio context is important. You could hear Clark get out of the gas briefly. The car just building tight up the racetrack and King really with nowhere to go. You'll see it here again, up the track for Clark. And that's that. I don't know how
Control's going to call that.
Go ahead.
Racing incident.
Okay, there you go. I was going to say, I don't know how they're going to rule it, but...
It's siding in the favor of the fact of Clark did jump out of the gas, and King really just had nowhere to go. Which I would also hope that gives Zach King a little bit of a reprieve, because he was very quick to jump on the radio and apologize, which, good sportsmanship, but wasn't his fault.
Well, let's talk to the driver of the 51 car, Zach King, who just unfortunately set the 54 for a quick header there to the inside wall. Zach, what happened from your perspective?
Honestly, I don't even know. It looked like we were coming off the corner. We had the same constant pace that I was just, I guess, locked into for so long at that point. And I don't know. It looks like he came off the wall, I guess, and just hit the wall. And maybe, I don't know. I hate to wreck him. I was ready to have a good battle with him. We had a really good battle there when I got to second, and I hate it for him. I really did not want that to happen. That just is such a bad situation all around.
And I think Coulter just had to check out getting tight there, but obviously puts us back under caution, a slight detour on what was otherwise a pretty clean race for you so far from the back to the front. What was that like? And yeah, it sounds like you have some more weeks ahead of that as the summer goes on. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, you know, I wanted to stay in the back because I already had the EOF for the championship thing. So I wanted to learn how to pass cars in a consistent basis. So I took the first, I don't know, maybe quarter of the race, just trying to pass cars and go to the back every time, top off on fuel, just to, see what it's like to pass cars. And honestly, I think it's helped me a lot to get to where I'm at right now, obviously in the lead, but obviously not in the predicament I want to get the lead in. I want to race Culture clean. I want to race everybody clean. I don't want to be the wrecking ball. I don't want to wreck people, and I feel so bad for Culture, and hopefully his day's not over, and I hope he can still be out here and get back up here.
And now we get to see, do we have an opportunity here for a teammate restart, you and Matthew?
That's the goal every time. We're 1-2.
I'll get you back up there so you can talk to him then. Zach, good to talk to you.
Thank you.
And hate to kind of jump real quick into it, but the lights are back down on the pace car engine because Ravillo, he spun coming out of the pit lane. He's back on pit road. He's got some big damage on that right front. It was a big hit for that 2-car.
Unfortunate for his day. I know it already wasn't going too great. But here we go. Restart on the way as Zach King has chosen the outside. Let's watch this restart from the ever-popular fan cam. 135 complete, 115 to go. I do enjoy these fan perspectives. Elijah Mopin, local to this area, he might have sat in some of these seats, might have seen some of these views. He's racing back there in currently the 16th spot, 3 laps down after that pit cycle kind of put him behind the mark. But all these guys trying to get back in this race, get their laps back, and continue on. Christopher Foote on board here. He runs in 5th, racing with Sean Hughes for that 5th spot. Hughes going to take it. And Jordan White going to follow through.
Single file racing once again as Zach King is well out in front. McMeekin, Scalise, Ramsey, Hughes, your top 5. Ramsey, we talked about him earlier, catching that race car, keeping himself in contention as he is on the inside of Scalise to take away that 3rd spot. Hughes waiting in the wings to see if he can make something happen as Ramsey easy into 3rd spot.
Easy does it here. Sean Hughes goes by. Scalise up on the outside wall. He's going to fall back down to the 6th position side by side here with Foote. Foote goes by, make that 7th for Doug. Next car behind these guys for position will be Coulter Clark a few rows back. Clark runs in 8th. Vad Nice runs in 10th. Romano able to get back on the lead lap that last caution. So he is officially back in this race, Zach. 9 laps led today. I want to see what he can do. If he can just get back up there. This 44 has been pretty competitive so far this season. We'll see. Time will tell.
Well, as we talked about earlier, you are running out of time. 145 on the board right now. 144 complete out of 250. We are rolling closer and closer to being within 100 laps to go. I don't want to say it's crunch time, but you don't want to be sitting too far back as the laps continue to wind on down. Only the top 10 on the lead lap so far.
Out of behind, Jordan White, Sean Hughes. That is for the 4th position. Jordan White takes it. Hughes, a shot there in the corner. I do love when cars get to sharing bumpers. I think it's a lot of fun watching guys, rub a little bit as they race, not just stay 20 feet apart at all times. I like the contact. I like it. It's dramatic. It's fun. White gets free there off of 4. Maybe we get some more here between these two.
As they say, racing is a contact sport. Caution, caution. Big smash up in the corner.
Chris
Quite a few
Etchepar,
cars involved in that one.
Casey Gross, Elijah Mopin. Those are the 3 I see. 3 really likable drivers, and it's going to start with the 88. That is Etchepar. Running some Shane Van Gisbergen colors, loose in the front stretch up, and oh, wow! Holy cow, Coulter Clark. Oh, and Romano got a big piece. Casey Gross and so many more. Once again, Zach, it's a car just getting loose off of turn 4. Etchepar loose. Watch this, slides back up the racetrack just like Ramsey earlier. Right in front of Mopin, who's checking up. He gets hit by Clark. Clark gets through, I don't know how. Adams gets tagged by Alley. Bullock gets a piece. Gross with nowhere to go. Van Nice is collected. That is an unbelievable scene down there in turn 1. And Romano trying to go to the inside of it all. He's going to get slammed into the 66 right there. Krieger able to get by it, Zach. But I'm telling you, I know technically contact was made for Coulter Clark. The rest of it, though, easily a mega miss.
Absolutely.
And so here you go for the first time today. Murtis mega miss look for Coulter Clark. This is just a wild replay.
See the spinning down the bottom. He makes contact, and wow!
Right on through. Let's see that from top down. He's going to give a shot right there to Mopin. Unfortunately, that sends Mopin into it big time, but Clark able to just thread the needle afterwards. I really hate that for Elijah in the 66, but man, that was clutch in a way for Coulter Clark. Here's a look at it for these guys involved. Mopin slams in there. Bullock, Gross, Van Nice, nowhere to go. Romano, big hit right there. That's going to hurt his right front. I think Elijah Mopin altogether took the hardest hit, Zach.
I don't think you're wrong there. That was wild.
There's nothing that half of those guys could have done. They were along for the ride. Their destiny decided by the tires on the number 88 just losing grip. Pit stops, though, in the front. McMeekin, White, King, Hughes all pitting. Many others, Foote, Scalise, Romano, Ramsey, Clark, all taking the service. Tony Krieger going to the rear. I believe he just got our lucky dog. Boy, oh boy.
This race starting to get a little topsy-turvy.
And we're trying to get restarted this time. We'll see if these guys are able to do so. Just inside of 100 to go, Zach. A little ways past halfway now. McMeekin will be the control car for the restart. Jordan White on his outside. Then King, then Hughes, then Foote, Scalise, Bender. Here we go. Restart on the way. We are racing again at Bristol. A terrible restart for Jordan White. King got right through to second.
McMeekin jumps well out in front. So the fight is on for the second spot. Sean Hughes is coming into the mix as well. Jordan White right on the bumper. He's taking a look down to the bottom. King shuts the door. Keeps that 83 car locked in on the bumper. Rolling to the outside. Oh, man, that's got to hurt right there. But King keeps it in front. I was going to say, rolling to the bottom might have been a bit of a mistake.
Jordan White trying to find a way by, squeezes there on the outside of car 51. Side by side, wheel to wheel, door to door, off the corner. Watch out, Zach King. He got loose. I think Jordan had the spot there at the line, but not by much. McMeekin fastest on the racetrack ahead of these two.
Giving up that bottom line, or giving up that top line really is going to hurt Zach King, as Sean Hughes is going around his outside now. That's 2 spots that the 51 has given up running that bottom line. I think if you're running that top line, it's going to be a lot more defensive, and I think King should have been up there and a little bit more defensive of those 2 spots.
Now they settle in for this battle for second. White, Hughes, and King, your second, third, and fourth positions. Behind them, there's a bit of a battle. Scalus over Romano for 5th. Foote and Clark just behind them. Romano's climbing his way back in, Zach. This will be for the top 5. Pass made.
Almost got caught up on the bottom once again. Oh, spinning! That's Scalus!
That was Adams, rather. Oh, big hit there from Alley and that nice. Bender able to miss it. Scalus continues on. That was Austin Adams around for the spin, and
My mistake on that one.
that 27 is not rolling much farther.
Had some paint schemes mixed up right there, but that's a big, big hit for these guys.
Just loose off of turn 4 again. Spun it around down there, back up the racetrack. Boom.
Oh.
Gonna look at it here. He's following Coulter Clark. Just got loose, whips it around, and at that point, tires are locked up. He's along for the ride and absolutely clobbered by the 22 and 24. And I gotta wonder if Vad Nice even saw what was happening ahead. I think certainly the 22 did of Alley. But the 24 of Vad Nice was packed up behind the 22. Yeah, I mean, you see the car on the inside. Yeah, maybe they could have checked up more, but just a bad circumstance.
Bad circumstances all over the racetrack, I'll say. Gotta roll with it. Roll with the punches. It's all you can do.
Let's see if we can talk with Christopher Foote here as he paces around in the 6th position, driver 21, and there have been some good runs out of this 21 car so far this season. Chris, how do we get you back in the top 5, maybe even the top 3 here today?
I'm just going to keep trying to hit my mark, save some tires, and hopefully be up front at the end.
It's been an interesting one, a little bit crazy at times. What's it like out there on the racetrack, especially with this new short track package?
It's different. I didn't get much practice because I was setting up the new sim rig, and it's definitely different.
And for those maybe that are sim inclined, what were you swapping out there on your sim rig?
I just got the Track Racer TS 40, and then got triple streams now.
How big of an adjustment is that? I mean, you can see, like, it's like a whole new world, right? You can see a whole bunch around you all of a sudden.
Yeah, so now I can see when I'm by somebody. That way I don't feel like I'm going. That way I'm.
Well, we'll get you back up there here, Chris. Good talking to you. Hopefully we're talking to you later on.
Thank you.
Here we go. Coming to the restart. Jordan White, Matthew making your front row. McMeekin the control car again. Zach, restart, racing again. We might have psyched out Chris Foote. He just had some big issues there on the restart, so maybe we'll give him some reprieve for a little bit. I promise it was all good intentions. We just wanted to talk to him, but
You got in his head, Andrew.
yes. I get it though. Been there, done that. That nice to the pit lane, and I think one other. Chad Fox was slow on the restart. battle here, though, for 5th. Ramsey on the inside. That is Scaleless on the outside with Coulter Clark just behind. And boy, Zach, the weather has completely changed. We are now overcast skies. It was sunny a little while ago.
Sunny to cloudy.
You see, the temperature really hasn't changed much. The wind hasn't changed much, but that humidity is building. It's up 12% from the start of the race. Temperatures are holding steady, but mostly cloudy skies. Now, all of a sudden, you can see around the racetrack. That is supported. Mostly cloudy. A lot more clouds than we saw about 160 laps ago. And, you know, in sim, the simulated date is today, 5:30. I mean, we'll see, I guess, if it's cloudy in Bristol here in about 6 hours or not. But meanwhile, battle for second sparking up. This is on board with Zach King. He's trying to chase down Jordan White.
Trying to get back to the race lead as McMeekin continues to lead on.
And by the way, Zach, I haven't looked over at YouTube chat in a little while. I just did for the first time in probably 50 laps. I can confirm power outage for Cameron Combs. His Dash for Cash hopes likely are, well, dashed. In case you're curious about those Dash for Cash standings coming into today, we're going to see some big changes. Robert Hissong was the leader coming into this morning's race. By 1 point over Jordan White, Hissong buried in 25th, out of the race to the tune of 136 laps. Ramsey, though, around front straightaway. Caution back out. And this is going to be an associated teammate. Ramsey's been working with the Whiplash guys a little bit, with Jordan White mostly. But that is White's teammate, Coulter Clark, that just nudged the 97 there off the corner. That's going to create an interesting conversation. Right here, Clark just throttles up. Ramsey wasn't quite there, and well, wasn't quite there as far as hitting the gas just yet. Was there on the outside, and Clark makes contact. You see the spin for car 97.
Barely gets into the inside wall. Well, maybe not so barely, but damage was definitely minimized right there. And you see McMeekin heading to the pit lane now. So that promotes Jordan White to the race lead. There's a little bit of drama on the restart as well, I'll say. Tuned into some driver radio for a little bit, and Jordan White was not exactly having it with McMeekin on the restart. A little bit of potential restart games, but I gotta tell you, that's just short track racing. It's just making the restart work in your favor.
That it is. Well, let's bring in a driver I was trying to talk to earlier. I didn't see him in Discord, maybe I just overlooked him, but that is Chris Romano, who is one of the drivers that has sent in a driver photo. There it is. And Chris, some bad luck, despite leading a few laps earlier on and running towards the front of the field early in this race. How can we get the 44 car back in this thing?
Yeah, just the start of the race was great. It was holding with the Coulter there and Jordan, but caution really pulled my way. Got some damage trying to get through that one wreck, but pretty sure it's like mostly fixed now. So just gonna make a push to the front and hopefully get up there. Try and keep it clean and see what happens.
I've been watching you the last handful of weeks. You're not on our power ranking top 10 just yet. How important is that to you guys as drivers to be able to be on those kinds of rankings and be represented, not just on the point standings, but also in those kind of metrics?
It's nice to see for sure. Definitely makes you feel like what you're doing on the track is being seen and being translated to what's on the broadcast and stuff. So definitely something I'm trying to work towards, and hopefully a good finish here will get me up there.
We've had some good runs as of late. Hopefully we're talking to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Chris Romano there, car 44. He's been a lot of fun to watch lately, Zach, and I really think he's got a win on the way. That 44 car has been piquing my interest lately. But let's see. Speaking of restart games, Jordan White got to pick a consistent speed. Restart zone here, 70 to go. Make that 69 to go. A nice solid restart there for Jordan White. Zach King and his back bumper. The clouds have built and caution. Caution's out.
Caution.
Chris Etchapar around.
Etchapar around.
The number 88 has seen his fair share of spins now off of turn number 4. As this is another. The question is it assisted or not? No. No assistance there for the 88 car. Just got loose. That seems to have been some cold tires. He just pitted under that last caution, so cold tires will do that to you, unfortunately, and this sets these guys back up for a new attempt at green flag racing. But let's just keep going down the line here, Zach, and talking to some different drivers. Looking at who maybe we can talk with and get a good conversation out of. Let's go ahead and grab Doug Scalise, actually. League owner here of AARN, and see how he's doing. He is top 5 currently, Zach and Doug. It has been a kind of rough and tumble race, just like short tracks typically are for anybody here, but you're top 5 right now. You've been kind of floating around this spot. No lap sled just yet. Can we get a few today?
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know if I quite have the speed to keep up with the 83 or the 51 on the long run here, but that first pit cycle really worked out in my favor.
And of course, it's still super early in the season, but you guys are starting to kind of shape out into your point standings. You know, is there a track coming up that you feel like you can get up there and get yourself maybe to the top half of the chase field? I know you're in the top 10 coming into today, but maybe you could get a little more safety in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm excited for Kansas next week, and then we roll right into Talladega, which, you know, as you guys know, is kind of a toss-up. So I'm hoping maybe to steal one there.
And hey, short track package, we've been talking about a little bit on these cars, of course. More horsepower, less downforce. Have you noticed any differences on your side?
Oh yeah, this new package is, you know, you can be a little aggressive, but at the same time, I mean, I'm seeing you definitely need a little more brake around these turns than previous years. So it's really making it for tight conditions as well, trying to balance that power.
And there's not much you guys can do in the car. I mean, brake bias is really it.
Yeah, brake bias is pretty much it. Other than that, you might be able to do, you know, your steering ratio or anything like that, but it you know, makes it tough on these long runs to kind of keep the balance.
Hey, best of luck. 5th on the restart. Hopefully we're talking to you later.
All right, thanks, guys. I'd just like to shout out to Bully Dog Coffee Company for sponsoring the car and the league as well.
There you go. The Bully Dog Coffee Company 16 about to go back green for 5th place. Doug, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
And we're about to get back racing here, just shy of lap 200 being complete. Restart on the way for Jordan White, Zach King, your front row. Green flag, racing again at Bristol. Uh-oh. You might want to stop talking to drivers, Zach. Problems there on the restart for Doug Scalise. He got loose, fell back to 7th. Leaders, though, getting racing.
Side by side up front, Coulter Clark has worked his way back into this race. King on the bottom, he's going to get clear, comes up a little bit. Jordan White strolling it into turn number 4.
Oh!
Contact for the race lead.
Contact there between these two drivers. They've got some history between them.
King gets it.
White dove there to the inside. King gave him daylight. Still side by side off the corner. Coulter Clark right behind these two. A thrilling fight here with 60 to go for the race lead.
And Coulter Clark gets big time loose as Sean Hughes is into the mix now. If you are Zachary King, do not give up that top line as Jordan White makes the bottom work for him. New race leader, but similar to that, he's been in the race lead before. It's Jordan White.
Jordan taking back over here, lap 192. King in second, Clark in third. That's Sean Hughes in fourth, nearly getting into the 54 car. That was close off of turn 4 that time. And you see Sean Hughes on the outside, going to pull right up to the back bumper of that 54 car. That's the difference the outside line can make. But Jordan White starting to pull away, keeping that car nice and tidy on the bottom. I know you've worked with Jordan specifically before here at Bristol. Problems though, Zach King. No! Into his teammate! I know you've also worked with him. What just happened?
I don't even know, Andrew. It's oh my goodness. This is, looking back at it, Zach King running second with Coulter Clark right behind him just gets loose. You've got a car on your rear end. It's hard to try and work on that sometimes. I mean, packing the air on the rear end, you just got to be ready for it.
I could be wrong,
it's a hard
Zach,
thing to teach.
but I feel like maybe frustration boiled over because he could have saved it. I feel like, and I think typically Zach would have saved it, but like maybe some frustration from the restart and stuff. They've got the best of maybe not entirely focused, because I did not expect him to lose control there when he came back up the racetrack. I mean, there was no contact there from Clark. He just got loose right there and back up the track into his teammate McMeekin, and McMeekin is done. Ramsey got a piece. That's a lot of damage. But truly, I feel like more often than not, Zach King is going to save that car. I'm kind of surprised he didn't.
To me, it feels like he throttled back up right there.
Let's take the in car. Back in the gas, got loose, off of it. No, Revs never came back up. He just couldn't quite hold it down there. One more look, this will be from car 4. Blindsided.
You just hate to see it for these guys.
And so the sun comes back out here briefly. Tony Krieger has lined up on the front row. Some pit stops here out of guys like Jordan White, Coulter Clark, and others. 4 tires and fuel for them. Probably their final stop of the race sack, but Krieger is going to be the control car on this restart. We might need to put these guys back under yellow for one more lap. They are disjointed all over. They're going to let it. Never mind. Caution back out. Well, as these guys sort out scoring and such, a big thank you to our partners here with the series. Of course, leading off with Bully Dog Coffee Company, founded by Patrick Bowler with nearly 2 decades of experience in the coffee industry. Bully Dog Coffee Company turns the process of making coffee back into a ritual, better supporting your caffeine needs along the way, as well as local dog shelters in Central Arizona. Order your first pound of Bully Dog I do that every time. Order your first pound of Bully Dog coffee, there we go, for as little as $15 with promo code FAST10. They have some different options. I did the math. Their cheapest option with that code, $15. That ain't too bad for a bag of specially crafted coffee there from Arizona. Green flag on the way. We'll be talking about Merca teas here shortly. Krieger on the loud pedal, racing again here at Bristol. A big restart there for Jordan White. You see the run now behind from Sean Hughes. He's getting up here finally. He's going for the lead.
Side by side with Jordan White, less than 50 laps to go at the line. Almost a little bit of contact there between the two. Coulter Clark spinning. He got loose going into turn number 1.
Coulter Clark And there's more trouble, I think, behind them. There's more trouble. Rovillo around off of the 92 of Powell.
My goodness.
Well then. Let's see this for car 54. It'll be the next time around the speedway into turns 1 and 2. Here's a look at it. You see the leaders getting side by side. Clark here in third. Down into turn 1. The rear end just came around and backs into the wall. Wow, he just kissed it.
Used the wall, but heck of a save right there. That was beautiful.
And then I'm not sure what happened there with Powell and Rovillo, but you see it. The end result. Rovillo for a slide, and Powell continues on. 4 pit stops. Christopher Foote and Zach King are in the pit lane. And Zach, as these guys pace around here under this caution, inside of 50 to go, we'll take a brief Pit Stop TV side-by-side segment and come back to you in just a moment.
We the people had enough. Show your patriotism with gear from MiraCatees.com. United we stand, divided we fall. It's time to stop arguing over stupid stuff and come together as a nation. Let's stand united and make a difference.
MiraCatees.com has the cutest designs to show off your American pride. Check them out today.
We the people had enough. Show your patriotism with gear from MiraCatees.com. United we stand, divided we fall. It's time to stop arguing over stupid stuff and come together as a nation. Let's stand united and make a difference.
MiraCatees.com has the cutest designs to show off your American pride. Check them out today.
And here we go, back to the restart zone this time. Jordan White going to lead us back to green flag racing. 44 to go, this time at the stripe. Racing again at Bristol Motor Speedway. A big restart for the 83 car. Oh, big in the wall, scaleless. Hooked by Krieger, who went nowhere. And Justin Lanier got some target fixation maybe, Zach. He gets collected. Caution right back out.
There's a big hit right there for a number of drivers. All 3 involved, really. This is Krieger on the outside, and Scaleless just came up. There was really nowhere for Krieger to go. And then Lanier, big impact into Krieger's rear end. See Austin Adams squeezing on by.
See, did Krieger come down or Scaleless come up? It was right in front of Zach King. I think they've kind of met in the middle. King gets by, but then watch Lanier just kind of target fixation, put his foot down a little too hard on the brake, and straight up the racetrack he went. From King's perspective, they met in the middle for sure. And for the 25 of Lanier.
This is rolling through 2. You see them just up the road. There's the contact. You can see the smoke. Maybe he couldn't see through the smoke. Lanier just piles right in.
I really think, Zach, if we can maybe get one more look at this, I think he goes to get on the brakes, and maybe gets on them a little too hard, and it just carried it straight up the track. Yeah, there was lockup. He absolutely just got the brakes a little too hard and really lost the steering ability in that 25 car. It's tough. I mean, when they're wadding up ahead of you, you're just trying to miss it, obviously, so you first instinct is to get on the brakes, but you got to keep those front tires moving if you want to be able to steer around it, and unfortunately, they chattered a little bit, locked up, and he went straight on up the racetrack. 40 to go here under this caution. One more look at what's upcoming for us at Pit Stop TV. There you have it. The next 4 days, we've got 4 separate broadcasts, all a little bit different. I mean, the most similar are Monday and Tuesday. We're going plate racing in both regards. First with the NORA Retro Cup Series presented by Harpoon Design. That's 2003 NASCAR Cup cars replicating the 2005 NASCAR Cup season. They'll be at Talladega tomorrow night. Then Tuesday, the BRB Sundance Pro Series kicks back off with their Daytona Duels. Brought to you by Sundance Pizza at Daytona on Tuesday evening. Wednesday, we've got 410 Sprint cars at I-55. Thursday, GT3 at Watkins Glen. Easy does it here. Late race restart, 40 to go. Green flag for Jordan White. Racing again at Bristol Motor Speedway. A couple of slow cars back there, but the leaders continue on.
Mostly single file throughout the field. As this race starts winding to a close, Andrew. Jordan White with a commanding lead over Hughes, and as he goes quickest, the caution comes back out once again. See Ramsey in the pit lane.
I'm honestly not sure who this is going to be for. It might be this guy here. Corey Powell. Might being the operative word. I'm not sure who else it would have been for. Maybe Mark Bender in the 33. No, caution's out there. Okay, I saw smoke. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Michael Rovillo turned around once again. Got the apron there in 3 and 4, and it just didn't like the transition back off the banking out of turn 4, inside wall, and I think Rovillo might be done.
Looking like a quick end of the day for him at this point now.
Let's see if we can dial up somebody we talked to a little while ago, and we didn't get very long with him. His teammate has since dropped out of the race. We spoke to his teammate as well. Let's bring in Kevin Bullock. And Kevin, probably about 100 and some laps ago, I don't know, we asked you if you could get back on the lead lap. Here you are, back on the lead lap. A chance maybe to go race for a win, but you've seen a caution or two. How's the car?
The car's pretty good, even though the little damage I've got. I'm just getting myself in some bad spots, but now we're up here and gonna see what we can do. Try to hold on to this last set of tires. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some more cautions, so we'll just see. Top 5, I'll be happy.
I was just about to ask about that tire situation. When did you last put tires on?
So 36, 38 laps ago. So yeah, we're pretty good.
Looking across timing and scoring, that might be one of the older sets. The 4 ahead of you all put tires on about 20 laps ago. Do you have a number you want to hit to put that last set on?
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, hey, best of luck. Glad we're talking to you once again here, Kevin, and in better circumstance. Hopefully we're talking to you later.
All right, man. Thank you.
Kevin Bullock there in the 0-1. We'll get him back up to his team channel. Despite now being solo the rest of the way this morning. Just over 30 to go. In fact, when we get the green flag here, Zach, it'll be 32 remaining. Driver of the day, it's coming up.
That it is. Pace car is going to make that hard left turn onto the pit lane. Jordan White is going to lead us into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air at Bristol. Big jump by the 83 car.
And your top two teammates, single file. Jordan White, Coulter Clark. Their tires are just as old as each other's. They're in the same boat as Sean Hughes and Chris Romano. But it's interesting knowing that 0-1 has got an extra set as Romano is the first to break into the 14-second bracket.
Coulter Clark, big charge on Jordan White. Side by side for third. Romano gets by. He's by Sean Hughes, going to chase down those race leaders. Clark with a big run to the inside. Can't get there. Jordan White hangs on to the race lead.
Nose to tail. Couple of Toyota teammates. Let's see what they can do these last 25 laps or so. Other battles on the racetrack. Etchapar is back in this thing. He's ahead of Scalus and Krieger, who complete your top 10 and lead lap cars. Zach King, after his troubles, he is mired back in 7th. He's got some damage. He's just trying to continue on here. Next car ahead of him is Christopher Foote in 6th. But Etchapar might have something for King here.
That damage is certainly a hindrance for that 51 car. He's making it work, though. King doing the best he can. Fight for the lead, though, with 25 laps to go. Next time by. Coulter Clark to the inside of Jordan White.
Kevin Bullock, problems. 0-1, spun around, cautions out. Oh, boy.
We're going to do it again.
That's it. I'm not interviewing anybody else. It has been awfully bad luck. Anytime we talk to somebody, they miss a restart or they're in a crash. Let's see what happened here to the 0-1. He was racing kind of on his own back in 5th. Just loose off the corner. How many times have we seen that?
Seen it quite a few times today.
He was lucky not to be collected by anyone there. See him go sliding down, back up the racetrack. Here comes the whole group. I think Coulter Clark is still going to take the Murtis Mega Miss for the day, Zach, but King did have a moment right here.
Oh, baby. That's a bit of a moment, absolutely.
King immediately dove straight to the pit lane. He is in the pit still, taking a service. He'll get rolling. He will lose that spot, it looks like, to Etchapar, maybe. It'll be close between those two off the pit lane. Coulter Clark has taken over at the race lead, by the way, with just over 20 to go. Let's go ahead, Zach. Let's each bang out one nomination here, I think. And see if we have time for more. Who you got? Driver of the Day. Brought to you by North American Racing League.
Gotta take Coulter Clark to start off with. He has done an absolute stand-up job of after being involved in a couple incidents, especially one that was self-inflicted. He's put himself back up towards the race lead, into the race lead now, so I think that's got to be a statement on the day for that 54 car on where he's going at the moment. Second pick on the day, though.
Well, no, hang on. I said we're each doing one.
Oh, each doing one. Okay. Well,
so I would have nominated Kevin Bullock until he just spun. But now, I'm looking around the field. Chris Romano's in the running for me. He kind of went to the back and came back forward. I'm going to go with Sean Hughes, though, first up, because he's your points leader, so he had to start deepest in the field here. And he has come back through, kept the car clean. I haven't really seen him involved in anything yet today, Zach. He's gone for the race lead a couple of times, hasn't gotten it just yet. But I'm going to go with Sean Hughes for driver of the day. He has kept it very clean. A lot of pressure being the points leader here at Bristol. And he is keeping 4 clean corners on that Chevrolet. Here we go. 20 to go. Green flag back out, racing again at Bristol. Zach King tried to go around the outside of Romano and Hughes. That backfired. He slides back into 5th with Christopher Foote just behind. Now, as for the dash for cash, especially with under 20 to go, as for the dash for cash, Combs and his song deep. Deep, deep, deep in the field. Coming into today, Coulter Clark was 22 points behind Jourdain White. And Jourdain is poised to finish at least top 3, I'd say. Currently second, of course. It's looking like he's going to be your dash for cash winner, or at least leader. We'll say leader right now after today. We still have Texas to sort out who exactly is going to win it. But he was only 1 point behind Robert Hissong coming into today, Jourdain White was. And with Hissong down in 25th, Jourdain is going to pile up a ton of points in this dash for cash. Cameron Combs is not making anything up. It definitely looks likely that Jourdain White is going to have a healthy advantage. He can still lose it, I think, at Texas in a few weeks, but it's going to be a whole lot more difficult for him to lose it now. He's going to have a ton of points to his credit, as Romano has gotten through to 3rd. Hughes on his back foot.
You got King right there, trying to make up any spots that he can.
And Zach, now I think is a good time. Who you got for that other pick for driver of the day?
I'm going to let you make your second pick. I'm still thinking about mine.
In that case, I'm going to go Tony Krieger. He has really, admittedly, not lit things up too much this season, but today, he's poised for a top 10, maybe even a top 5 if things go right. He's got some laps led, started, or was as low as 25th, started 23rd. I'm going to give a nod to Tony. He's putting in some work, trying to keep the car clean, and he's doing a good job.
I think I'll take for my second pick.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't make it any easier on you.
You took Jourdain for your first pick.
I did not. I took Sean Hughes.
Oh, that's correct. I think I'll have to take Jourdain then. As we see cars getting loose on the front straightaway going into 1, I'm definitely just going to have to take Jourdain. He's been lights out. Done a great job as the caution's coming out now.
Oh, that's going to be for Kevin Bullock all over again. We'll get that North American Racing League Driver of the Day vote active over on YouTube. You've got to be on YouTube to vote. Those 4 drivers now nominated: Coulter Clark, Jourdain White, Sean Hughes, and Tony Krieger. Meanwhile, problems for car 01 once again. Kevin Bullock racing here with Chris Etchapar. This was for about the 8th spot. Off the corner, loose again, and couldn't quite hang on to it. Boom! Wow, he really clobbered that inside wall, and that's that.
That's huge right there.
I hate that for him. I think I just bolted those new tires on. Loose off the corner, still maybe cold tires, I don't know, but really hate that.
You hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it for him. He was still in the top 10, like you said, Andrew. If he would have just spun a little bit later, he would have missed the inside wall. Might have had a better chance of saving it.
And Zach, let's go back to the point standings coming into this morning's race. He was on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs, the chase goes. So 13th coming into today, only 1 point back of Chris Romano, who's right on the cut line, but Romano's 11 back of White, so that put Bullock 12 back coming into today. And Ramsey is now, well, he's out. He's 48 laps down. Ramsey's done in 17th. But Powell, he of course started the day many laps down and likely will not pass Bullock. That's interesting. Romano's going to have a great day in the points, though, and might catch up to and pass the 33 of Bender. McMeekin's going to sink, too. Cameron Combs is going to sink. Robert Hissong, Casey Gross are going to drop big time. King is going to take a small hit. He's still top 5 right now. But this graphic is going to be very different. Jordan White is looking good. I think Coulter Clark might be on it going into next week's race. Of course, we won't be here for that one at Kansas, but I think by the time we come back around to Texas, we are going to have a very different championship picture. It's still so early, but it's going to be wildly different in a few weeks in Texas for us. Restart zone coming on the way, though. 4 laps to go at Bristol Motor Speedway. Green flag back in the air for these race leaders. Three to go at the line, Zach. Can they get this handled between themselves?
Jordan is right on the back bumper of Coulter Clark, trying to make something work.
Let's not forget, these two are teammates. Caution!
Hey, caution!
Chris Etchepard turned around front straightaway. Corey Powell involved in the 92. And Etchepard just loose on his own into 3. Then comes back down the racetrack and is trying to get a handle on it. And how does Corey Powell get in this? He got loose himself. Oh my goodness. That is so crushing for both of those drivers. I mean, Etchepard, of course, lost it on his own. And that's already crushing enough. He just dove there on the outside and straight up backed it into the wall, a lot like Coulter Clark earlier, and got loose again, kind of a lazy spin. But then for Powell to come around the bend, same deal, loose off the corner. Boom! It was just lift off oversteer for the 92. That really hurts both of those drivers and those cars. Powell is into the pit lane here, but I want to talk about him actually for a moment, Zach, because, you know, if we look at the team name here, he's listed under Meatball Motorsports. That will soon be Meatball plus something. They've got some stuff on the way. And I'm excited to, excited for King to announce what they've got on the way in that operation. Powell, though, that left front, oh my goodness, Zach, do you see that?
I'm seeing it. I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing it. That is yawed out right there. Looks like Lightning McQueen giving you a ka-chow.
This is what it looks like in the car. You can't even tell that he's... Oh, never mind. Straight away, it's pretty clear. In the corner, it doesn't really look like anything's wrong from the driver's side POV, but when he straightens out on the straightaway, that is a scary, scary picture for the 92. He's going to have to be careful. Meanwhile, the race win at Bristol about to be settled between a couple of Whiplash Racing teammates. I know these guys... Look, they came in a little bit later than the rest of these guys to start the season. That's automatically going to put a chip on their shoulder. Automatically, if they get successful like they have been, other drivers won't be happy. That's part of it. That's all fair and square. But here they are, once again, trying to settle a race win between themselves. Clark has a couple from the West Coast swing. He won at Phoenix, then Las Vegas. Meanwhile, it was back in race 3 where Jordan White last went to victory lane. Here we are in race 8. He's been winless since. Not a very long winless streak, but he would certainly like to snap it here today. And let's not forget, Sean Hughes finally has a win. He won at Darlington, but Chris Romano's still winless. He's restarting 3rd. A lot of great drivers here at the front. Chris Foote, he's winless in 6th. Zach King won last week at Martinsville. He's 5th. Green flag on the way. Overtime restart. Overtime rule is going to be down on your bottom right. We're racing here, Zach. If we can get to the stripe, it's official.
Coulter Clark got a big jump. Jordan's going to take a run to the bottom.
Wow.
Teammates are going to make contact. Coulter Clark up the racetrack. They're side by side.
It's official. Jordan crashes. It's official, though. We're racing back. Jordan's crashed in the background. Coulter Clark going to bring it around town. Turns 3 and 4. Coulter Clark is going to cap it off with a win at Bristol. His teammate crashed behind him. Coulter Clark wins it. And Jordan White not having quite the successful day he was going to otherwise. He's still trying to finish it. That car is junk.
Crossed the line for the white flag in second, ends the race in 8th.
And honestly, that's a lot better than it could have been. But Coulter Clark, today's race winner at Bristol Motor Speedway. I know there was a bit of racing, a little bit of contact there, teammate on teammate, but I don't think he has anything to be ashamed of. He ran a great race, a great couple last laps. That's just racing. The Coulter parks it there on the front stretch. No burnouts, I think, given the circumstance. Let's go back, Zach, and see what happened between those two coming to the white flag. I mean, we saw it live, of course, but that doesn't mean we got the full picture. This is off the corner. Oh, there was more contact than I thought. That might be on Coulter. So this is the restart. And we'll see here, Jordan has a great run off of 2. Dives up the inside of Coulter. Made it real fun and interesting there. A little bit of contact. That's okay. And then here off the corner, Coulter got loose. And Jordan paid the price.
Romano was there in turn number 1 to see if he could take advantage of it, but wasn't close enough to make a difference.
And so from Jordan's perspective, driver's eye here into turn 3. Hey, that's straight up overtime Bristol racing. But then Coulter just got loose. Again, Jordan White pays the price. Oh my gosh, Krieger and Scaleless nowhere to go. That's not the first time we've seen a car come back up the racetrack today. That's unfortunate, especially for Krieger. So let's see, there's the spin between the two. Here comes Krieger into it. Nowhere to go. Scaleless nowhere to go. Krieger really bears the brunt of it. That explains why those three were all at the back then of the lead lap. Let's get a look back at your unofficial race results here, Zach. Just an incredible race here at Bristol. Not the ending that I think a few of these guys wanted, but we'll cap it off here today after 250 laps. Actually, 250, was it 2? 54. How fitting is that? 254 laps, and it's won by car 54. Coulter Clark wins today at Bristol. Maybe not the fashion he would have preferred, but a win is a win. Chris Romano, second place, getting closer and closer to that first one there in this season. Sean Hughes, third. Zach King, fourth. Christopher Foote, a solid top 5. Doug Scaleless, Tony Krieger, Jordan White. I'm glad that they were at least able to hang on to top 8s. Of course, kind of by default there at the end, they were the final cars on the lead lap, as Chris Etchepar and Greg Van Nice finish in the top 10, but 3 and 5 laps down, respectively.
Rolling outside the top 10, you find the difference in laps down quite gets a little bit bigger. Kevin Bullock, 14 laps down in the 11th spot, and then Mark Bender, another 10 laps behind him, 24 laps down in 12th position. Corey Powell, 29 laps down, and then Chad Fox, 30 laps down in the 14th position. 37 laps down in 15th, you find Elijah Mopin, and then Justin Lanier, Adam Ramsey, Matthew McMeekin, 16th, 17th, and 18th. 19th and 20th, you find Bravillo and Alley, both the Michaels. They're all in excess of 50 laps down.
And following back to 21st spot today, and this will be the final page of the results, Austin Adams, Casey Gross. I mean, painful early outs for these guys, especially Casey Gross. He's been getting better lately. Cameron Combs out early, Matt Opplinger there, and Robert Hissong. That one stings. He's been so good lately, and I've become a big Robert Hissong fan. I think a win is on the way for him. Not today. We'll be talking to our top 3 as per usual. I'm sure maybe a little bit of frustration among some drivers, but I want to hear what Coulter Clark has got to say. And of course, Coulter, we saw what happened there those last 2 laps. Jourdain took a swipe at you into 3, all fair and square. You got loose off of 4, all fair and square. What's it like from your perspective, though?
It sucks, I hate to ruin a good day for Jourdain, especially with how clean he raced us. I mean, he got to my inside, and with really just a good move. I couldn't get down there in time, and then, tried to throttle up, tried to stick with him, and just lost the car.
And of course, this is now a 3rd win for you. That series leading. This should put you in the top 24. Of course, we're taking a couple of weeks off, but I think you'll be on that points graphic finally at Texas when we come back. And obviously, I think the dash for cash might be a little bit out of reach, but now the focus is starting to turn properly towards the chase, the playoffs. So I think it's certainly within reach, and this helps that. How can you keep this going and get a few more of these tallies in the win column?
Really just staying out of trouble. I mean, even with the trouble we had today, the rebound was really nice, and I know I can do it. I just, just got to stay clean. Just put better races together.
And hey, as we so often do, we can take a look at the schedule coming up, and the specific tracks we'll be hitting soon. Of course, we'll be back at Texas and Watkins Glen, then Charlotte and Sonoma for the next few races that we're covering. But a lot of other great racetracks on the way. I mean, Kansas feels like it's in your wheelhouse. Talladega obviously is anybody's race, but Wilkesboro could be right back in your kind of lane. So where do you feel like you've got the best advantage of these next handful of tracks coming up?
I really do like Kansas. Kansas is probably one of my favorite tracks. I've won Dega and BRB with, it was really lucky, but I think I have a chance to win at all of them. So just gonna, go out there and capitalize on the opportunities.
And hey, you raced for Whiplash here on Sundays. You stole our number on Tuesdays, but how do you feel about the BRB season coming up, beginning this Tuesday?
I'm excited. I feel like I have a lot of potential to show this season. I've really, last season was more of a kind of showing everybody what I can do when I put together the races. So, yeah, I feel like I really have a chance to contend for the championship, and I'm really going to go prove it.
There you go. Coulter Clark with a win here at Bristol Motor Speedway. A 3rd on the season for car 54 in 254 laps. That all kind of works out, Coulter. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
And back to 2nd place here. I think this will be a happy guy here, Zach. Chris Romano, 2nd place.
Absolutely, Chris Romano bringing it home, 2nd place. You started 2nd, you finished 2nd. I don't think you expected to be 2nd coming to the white flag, but chaos in front promotes you up, and you're sitting here talking to us today.
Yeah, it was a good race overall. Like we talked about it earlier, got caught on pit road under that first caution, their second caution, and sort of made things interesting, but I was able to get back up there. I saw those two get into each other in front of me, and my eyes lit up, and I thought I saw a checkered flag in my future, but Coulter held on to it, and I sent it into turn 1 a little deep just to see if maybe I could give him a slight bumper, get him a little loose, but he's just too far ahead of me. So take 2nd all day.
Well, 2nd place finish is still nothing to shy away from. You did a standout job getting up there and staying in contention. You even led 9 laps. Do you feel like anything else could have gone differently that might have helped you be in that 1 spot shire?
Yeah, I feel like if I wasn't trapped a lap down under that caution, I feel like that would have been up there. Maybe I saw Coulter have some issues, and if I was able to maybe keep it clean, I feel like that's the only way I would have been able to win. But he's fast, Jourdain's fast, Sean's fast and consistent. So I just if I get 2nds the whole time, I'm more than happy with that. I think this is my 3rd one, so I'm cool with that.
Then we won't be here next week. Pit Stop TV will be stepping away, but we'll be back soon. And going into next week, though, do you feel like this is giving you a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for here, an advantage or some confidence boosting going into next week?
Yeah, the races I've been in, I missed a few this season so far, but the races I've been on have been pretty competitive. I really like the next few tracks. Kansas, I saw Texas is there. I think Dega's not on my favorite list whatsoever. And then Watkins Glen I'm looking forward to as well. So I really think the next 4 weeks there's a chance that I could probably maybe cement myself in the point standings, hopefully more up towards the top.
Well, fantastic job hanging on to that second spot. Congratulations on your race today here, Chris. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon next time we see you.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
I'm sure Chris Romano would have wanted to finish that one spot higher, but hey, second place at the last great Coliseum, that ain't nothing to be too shy away from.
No, it's not. I think anytime you're top three, really anytime you survive one of these races at Bristol, that is a positive. And not only surviving, but Sean Hughes able to survive today and get no incidents reportedly. How?
Right, what a great race. Now I had to start in the back too.
Yeah, I put you on the driver of the day poll just because of that reason alone. You had to come through the back of the field all the way to the front. You didn't quite get lap sled today, but I mean, Sean, another great run from you, and I think proof as to why you're leading these point standings. That is maybe as good a case as any to get through 254 at Bristol from the back, no incidents. I mean, there was craziness all around. How did you survive all those corner exits, guys getting loose, guys sending it in, and make it on through?
Yeah, I almost got hit by the 51. That was scaring me. I was so close. But I felt like I had a winning car. I just couldn't figure out those restarts. And that's what cost me.
Well, Sean, congratulations. A big day for you here at the office. And like I said, this should keep you on top of the points. Kansas next up. How do you feel there?
It's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm happy with Kansas.
Hey, Sean, good to talk to you as always. Congratulations, and hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
And Zach, we're going to add an interview here today. We've got to grab him. He left our channel. Hang on. Let's get him back down here. We're going to talk to him because he was talking to me privately in some text chats about how he feels after the end of that one. And Jourdain, well, obviously we saw what happened. Easy to be frustrated. How do you feel after all that?
I mean, I was pretty mad, not necessarily at my teammate, but just the fact that it happened was very, very unlucky, and it ruined what could have been, I think, a standout finish between the two of us.
It definitely was shaping up to be a great finish. I think it's still going to be one that we've looked back on as a highlight for the season. Unfortunately, a low light maybe for you, but you know, another great run. 67 laps led. Probably
6-7.
Should be leading the Dash for Cash after today. So when we come back in Texas and wrap that all up, I mean that's a good outlook for you. Even though it's 8th place, it's going to be a lot of points in your column. Bad days for his song and Combs. You should be on top of that.
Yep, maybe. We'll see. I do need to get the track, though, which I'll try and sort that out this week. But, yeah, I think it will be very fun with those guys. I think I got maybe a 10-15 point lead, so maybe just getting a top 10 there might just seal the deal for me.
Enough to at least be a little bit relaxed going into that race. Certainly, though, still work to do. Jourdain, good to talk to you as always, and hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Yep, I hope so.
Jourdain White with a rough ending here at Bristol. A great day. I'd say King had a rougher day, but a better ending certainly is. I know he's trying to sneak into the interview room. We do have to close down at some point today, Zach, and look ahead at what's coming up here. And in doing so, there you see, again, we're stepping away for Kansas and Talladega. Those are going to be some good races, but I'm ready for Texas coming up next.
Don't lie. I think Texas is going to be a phenomenal race for these guys. I'm hoping that we don't run into any issues at Texas. Things just go and play out smoothly on another mile and a half.
It is typically a pretty racy racetrack with this next-gen car. I got to say, I was even very critical of the reconfiguration there in early years, but you know that at least for NASCAR's sake, it has started to come into its own, especially here on iRacing. It gets pretty racy and can be a lot of fun to watch. Today's North American Racing League Driver of the Day honors, though, will go to Coulter Clark, a 3rd win on the season. He is quickly emerging as, one of, if not the championship favorite once we get into the fall. There's a long ways to go there, Zach. I've talked very openly about the fact that he's not yet even close to the chase field because he missed a few races to get started in this season. He missed another one last week. He's got points that he has to earn, but so long as he sticks with it over the course of the year, I have to imagine he's in the top 10 when we get to September and go chase racing later this year.
Absolutely. I think Coulter Clark is going to be a phenomenally good pick to be in the chase, and there's so much to take away from this race, and he definitely deserves driver of the day.
So he is today's North American Racing League driver of the day. Once again, some upcoming races for us here at Pit Stop TV. Here's a look at them. Tomorrow night, the NORA Retro Cup Series presented by Harpoon Design takes the high banks of Lincoln, Alabama. Talladega Superspeedway coming up next for those guys. Classic at this point, which I hate saying, but classic NASCAR Cup cars from 2003, racing in the 2005 season. I'm excited for that, as always. And then we kick off a new season of racing, season number 6, with the BRB Sundance Pro Series Tuesday at Daytona International Speedway for some Sundance dual racing. Wednesday, 410 sprint cars make their return to Pit Stop TV, along with the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. It's been nearly 8 years since our first broadcast with them, and they're back on the channel beginning April Fool's Day. I promise it is not an April Fool's joke. We have dirt racing coming. I'm excited. Going to be a lot of fun to get that started with those guys. And then Thursday, the North American Racing League is back. April the 2nd, we begin our second half of season number 9. The amateurs are on track first. They head to Watkins Glen this Thursday, as the pro Watkins Glen race was actually pushed, Zach, to be our finale. So Watkins Glen is now the pro finale, but amateur will still wrap up at Road America in May. A lot of great racing there, and all over the place for Pit Stop TV.
Absolutely, and so many different places to follow along. PitStopTV.com, Facebook.com/PitStopTV, Instagram.com/pit_stop_TV, TikTok.com/PitStopTV1, and X.com/PitStopTV_. And then the best place to follow along with Pit Stop TV, YouTube.com/PitStopTV1. Wait, I think I said that already. Wait. I'm stumbling over my words, Andrew.
Well, anyways,
I'm still reeling from Wake County Speedway last night.
Just barely, technically, into the afternoon, and I think Zach Murdis might be heading back down for a nap here shortly. That's okay, but we'll wrap up here from Bristol Motors Speedway. A big thank you, as always, to our partners with the series. Of course, Bully Dog Coffee Company doing so much for us here on these Sunday mornings. Every Sunday morning, a presenting partner of this series, and of course, today with the help as well from Mercatees.com. Again, head over to Bully Dog Coffee Company's website and order your first pound of Bully Dog Coffee for as little as $15 with promo code FAST10 at checkout today. A big thank you to our partners as well here at the channel: Whiplash SimCams, MXWraps.com, ATVO, Murdis Esports, CC's Business, and the North American Racing League. That will do it for us here from Bristol Motors Speedway. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you all next time here on Pit Stop TV. Hopefully tomorrow night, NORA Retro Cup Racing, Talladega Super Speedway style. Don't miss it. We'll see you tomorrow.